Hi, good morning. My name is Sergeant Ben Salentine from the City of Golden Police Department. My last name is spelled Salentine, Salentine. You get that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm the PIO for the City of Golden Police Department. Next to myself, this is Chief Olson, and this is Sheriff Marinelli, and they will both spell their names for you. Sheriff?
Hi, Sheriff Reggie Marnelli, Reggie. Marnelli is Marinelli.
Chief Dustin Olson, DUSTINOLSON.
Chief, you just want to give a quick brief?
Yeah, sure. So this morning at a little past midnight, a Mines police officer noticed a vehicle parked in a roadway obstructing traffic. He made contact with the driver and realized the driver was slumped over the wheel. The driver gained consciousness or became more alert and continued, failed to stop, moved at a very slow rate of speed west on 19th, where the officer and another Golden police officer were able to stop the driver. Again, the driver was slumped over the wheel. A second time, they made contact with the driver. He refused to exit the vehicle or listen to any commands. There was a physical struggle, and the driver of the vehicle fled on foot. My understanding is he fled on foot eastbound back towards campus. And from there, I'll let others take you forward with what we know.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, the driver, just as the Chief said, did fled eastbound down 19th towards campus, right over my left shoulder here. As that driver was fleeing the scene where the vehicle was parked over my right shoulder, up 19th here, he did brandish a handgun at our officers in the beginning part of that foot pursuit. So officers gave chase. The suspect did disappear from view for a little while. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office responded, as well as multiple other agencies, to help in the search. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office K-9 did respond to the scene, conducted a search with both another deputy and a Golden police officer. Shortly after that search began, that K-9 alerted, and K-9 did find the suspect. Gunshots were heard, mortally wounding the K-9. Fire was returned by one Jeffco deputy. I do not know the exact details on that exchange, but at that point a perimeter was established. Additional resources were called in, to include the Jefferson County Regional SWAT team. Once all resources were on scene, the whole area was locked down. Lookout alerts were sent out to the area as a shelter in place for both our residents and for the students. An area search was conducted by officers and the SWAT team, and shortly after that area search, just before 5 a.m. this morning, the suspect did make himself known to perimeter units, perimeter officers and deputies, and was taken into custody. That suspect did have in his possession a holster. He was not armed at that time. Shortly after, in the immediate vicinity, a handgun was recovered. So that is where it's at right now. At this time, the City Golden Police Department, in conjunction with Colorado School and Mines Police Department and the Jefferson 1st Judicial District CERT team, is conducting the investigation into this matter. Do you want to say anything, Sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. This morning, our K-9 unit was called to assist the Colorado School of Mines and Golden Police Department. The K-9 tracked a suspect into a wooded area near West 6th Avenue and 19th Street. Our K-9 Graffiti was ahead and leading the deputies when shots were fired. Unfortunately for our agency, our K-9 was hit and succumbed to his death. Deputy did give the order for Graffiti to apprehend the suspect. A second deputy did return fire, and law enforcement then held the perimeter. Just a little bit about K-9 Graffiti. He has been with JCSO and working for us since 2015. He was trained in narcotics and patrol services to include apprehension. I want to iterate that no officers or deputies were injured. Our K-9 was the only unfortunate victim in this situation. And I want to thank all the agencies, the surrounding agencies Metro-wide that came in to assist with this particular situation. A lot of good work was being done. Thank you.
Can you tell us why there's still this major police presence out here? The suspect is in custody now.
Yes, sir. Like the chief said, this call for service started right over my right shoulder right here. Ultimately, the vehicles moved up 19th Street towards Lookout up here. When that vehicle stopped for that second time up the street here, parked right in the middle of the road, the two officers that were on scene performed what's called the vehicle pinch, basically placing their patrol vehicles to the front and rear of the vehicle, so it wouldn't move back and forth. What then culminated up here over my right shoulder is that suspect awoke and started ramming the police vehicles. So there was patrol vehicles that were rammed up here, and then the short scuffle. So you have a crime scene here, you have a crime scene here, and then we had the area search over here. So that police presence will be here for a little while. There's evidence gathering and canvassing going on.
Was that the white SUV that was on the other side of 19th?
I'm not sure. I haven't been up there yet.
I was down. It was just like on the other side of the
Yep, I can't say yes or no. I haven't been up that way yet.
When can people expect for the roads to reopen?
I would say I can't give you an exact time, but what I will say is the city of Golden, what we'll do is we'll push out via Twitter and Facebook as soon as we can open up the roads up here. Like I said, this is a multi-agency investigation right now, so there's a lot of evidence gathering, canvassing going on. I would imagine these things normally take some time. It's been going on since just after midnight, and like I said, the suspect was apprehended just before 5 a.m. So there's quite a bit of work still to be done, but we will for sure get that information out as soon as possible.
What charges is the suspect facing?
Any charge related questions, I'm going to have to direct you to the First Judicial District CERT team.
Did the suspect communicate with officers when they made contact with him behind the wheel, when he was behind the wheel slumped over and they woke him up? Did he say anything?
As far as verbiage, words, things of that nature, I'm not exactly sure. I do know that there was two separate interactions. There was the one right here and then the one up the street. Both interactions started with the suspect being slumped over the wheel, not responsive. And the second interaction, it started with that and it ended with the officers did break the windows on the vehicles to try to get the vehicle into park and also to try to get the suspect out. As far as words exchanged, other than the officers' verbal demands, I'm not sure.
Did you say he ran police cars, or?
Yes, that's what I'm under the impression of.
What do we know about the suspect? Can you was he a student at Mines? Do we know any of that yet?
I do not have the suspect's identity. What I do know is that he was treated. I know he was treated. I'm not exactly clear on what hospital he went to, but he was treated, and he was released, and he is in custody.
So we're clear. So the suspect at some point ran off or away from officers?
Yes.
Okay. So he was able to do that, but he was unresponsive and slumped over behind the wheel just before that.
That is correct.
Okay. Did officers know that he was armed at the time or before they sent the K-9?
No. There's no way. There's no way of knowing those details. Anytime an officer contacts a vehicle, the men and women that contact these vehicles, a call that starts with the belief that it could be an intoxicated party or a medical emergency, officers they can never predict the end. So this one did not. It was unfortunate. It was truly unfortunate the route it took, but no knowledge of a gun.
And you're still looking for a gun?
No. Like I said before, when the suspect did turn himself over to law enforcement, he had an empty holster, but the gun was quickly recovered real quick after his apprehension.
Will there be a service for the K-9?
Sheriff?
This is not something we deal with on in just the short few hours since this occurred, and we do intend on recognizing our agency member, and so we intend on having some kind of a service for the K-9.
And
Yes.
how's the handler doing?
As you can imagine, this was his partner. This was his backup, and he is gone. And so the officer is doing well. His family's doing well, but as you can expect, it's an emotional situation for them.
How long has the K-9 unit been a member, I guess, of the...
K-9 Graffiti was on duty since 2015.
We received a notification from the Mines Emergency Management that you all were looking for a suspect, Hispanic or white, around 5'11". Did the suspect that you find match that description?
All I can tell you about that is we are clear and sure that the suspect in question is a suspect that is apprehended, and there's no threat to the public at this time.
Do we know how much longer Mines will remain closed for the day?
Chief?
It's our understanding that that we won't open campus until noon or later, depending on the needs.
What did you have to do here to lock down the campus when this was all going on?
Well, we certainly, take safety and security of the campus as our top priority, and we initiated UCSB alerts, which goes to phones and texts, letting folks know to shelter in place as soon as possible. But following that, we certainly also let the campus know that we wouldn't be having classes, and the campus would be closed. And from there, we're just going to monitor the situation. Again, like I said, probably after 12 o'clock, we'll begin to reevaluate and see if we can open campus back up at the time.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all coming out here. If there's any further information, you can find it both on our social media as well as the Sheriff's Office's social media. Emily, I don't know if you want to share
Campus
your
website?
contact.
The campus website information? Okay.
Yeah, mines.edu.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.